Okay, I picked the best day to make this screencast because we are fostering two puppies and you can see my photos is filled with them. We're going to go through the basics of Google Photos and some not so basics. This screencast we're not going to watch during the session. This is more just for your review. Let's start with the three lines over here on the left, the main menu. We'll start at the top. Your assistant is your friend. First of all, it does things automatically for you. All of these things you see down here below are things like, hey, we think you might like this. For example, it made a movie today for me because it realized, hey, you're taking a lot of pictures and video. It must be some kind of special day. What do you think? This here is an animation. It's like a little GIF or GIF, depending how you want to say it, which it just took a video I took and like cropped some of the pieces together to make that cute little animation. It also is saying rediscover this day. Here's what you did a year ago in different pictures. And we can keep on going down there. So that's the cool thing the assistant does. Also, from this page, you can create a new album where you don't want to rely on Google to do it for you. You want to go into your own photos, click the ones that make sense to be in an album together, or just highlights of the ones, particular ones. You notice I'm clicking one by one. I can also click, I guess I can't. On a phone, you can just drag your finger across. But remember the the shift trick here. So notice how Tommy here is selected. I'm going to hold shift on my keyboard and then start moving my arrow down, and notice how I'm selecting, I'm going to click this last guy and I'm selecting all of them. And I'll click create, and this is making an album. I can title the album, I'm going to call it sample photos or tutorial. From here, I can rearrange the photo order. I can add more photos to this album. I can add text to some of them. I can add a location. I'm going to click the check mark like, yep, that's a good album. And here is, of course, where I'm going to share this album out. I can share it with specific people, or I could get a link that's just generic right here, and I can send that out to anyone. Whether they have a Google account or not, they would be able to see these photos and be able to download them individually. So that's how you make albums. Back to assistant here. Shared album is kind of the same thing as an album. It's not meant just for you. You're going to share it out to other people. So these are very similar, but you could choose over here, just keep the album to yourself. This is relatively new for Google. I haven't tried it out, but you can make photo books pretty easily from your Google Photos. Collages, same thing. If I click collage, I'm going to choose a few pictures here and click create. The only bad thing about this option, although it's really quick and easy, I can't drag these around. Like if I would want this picture here, I don't have the option to do it. Or do I? Look at this pencil. Sorry, nothing like experimenting on the fly. That edit pencil allows me to choose different filters and make it black and white, and I can adjust the feel of it. I could crop it. But once again, I was right. You cannot change, like move this photo into a different area of, there we go, of the collage, if you will. Share button still there. I could share these in the same fashion. Moving on back to our assistant. Photo book collage and animation. I could force one of those animations like it made for me. I could say, hey, make an animation out of these 3 photos for me. And it says you can create 2 to 50. I'm going to just choose those 3 because they're similar. They don't have to be similar, but it creates a more interesting animation, I think, if they are similar. So you can see it just kind of stitches them together and makes a unique creation. Your phone can do all these things as well, and your phone has an additional one where you can create your own movie. Right here, this movie was created for me automatically by Google, but if I wanted to, I could force create one. Notice these little save buttons. These right now are currently not saved in my library. They will disappear from this screen over time, and I won't have access to them unless I choose to save them. So you get the choice of whether to hang on to them or not. Moving on down over here on the left, if I click photos, it's just a stream of all the photos that I've taken and choose to have synced to my Google Photos account. Once again, albums. These are all the albums I've created. Here's that one we just created today. I created this one on not too long ago for Tommy's birthday party, and I got that short link and I sent it out to all the parents who had kids at the party so they could take a quick look at it. Sharing is just going to show those things that I indeed set up to share out to other people. And look at this, they're giving me suggestions like, hey, this was a cool day. Do you want to share this with these people? And you could go ahead and do that. It's doing some thinking for you. And we talked about the photo books. Let's go back here to our main menu. Anything else I want to show? Archive. If there's pictures you don't want to see in your stream, but you don't want to delete, you can archive the photos similar to your email. And this is, I'm very excited about, Share Your Library. Bill and I are going to be doing this where if you have a significant other and you want them to have access to all of your photos, you can do that. And they also give you special settings where you could say, hey, just share the photos with these people in it. So like maybe just your kids in it or something like that. Your settings, we talked about all of this stuff is gone through in the actual slides presentation. So I'm not going to go through that. I hope I have enough time. We're going to keep going. Google is, most known for search. So not only if you click in this bar, you get all kinds of options. You can search by face. So if I click here, this is my beautiful niece, Jenna, who is just deployed. It's going to pull up all of the pictures in my photos of her. Look, back to this. She's this beautiful soldier here. And look, it recognizes her in this photo as a second grader. This was uploaded in January 1st of this year because this was actually a photograph that had scanned in on that day. But it picked it up and recognized her. So very cool. So back to the search, you can search by people. You can search, just pull up all your videos. If you search selfies, you can see how vain I am here. These are all things they considered selfies. Just notice the faces are pretty big. Back to search. Pull up your movies. It can search by location. It recognizes I have been in these places recently. So let's go ahead and do San Diego. And it'll pull up anything that was taken in San Diego. But we could do other places as well. Let's try Richmond, Indiana, if that works. There's a risk here, guys. I haven't done this before. Well, these weren't Richmond. That was risky. These two down here were, though. So you can search by location. You can also search by word. I kind of saved this till the end. This was a search I did recently, just testing it out. It's pretty cool. If you just type in birthday up here, it goes through your photos and it takes a guess of, hey, what photos might be a birthday celebration? Apparently it thinks these butterflies are. But mostly it's like pulling out things that look like cakes and parties and things like that. So it's pretty fun. You can try any word you want up there. So if I put in the word dog, it's going to go through my photos and look for the dogs. Obviously here we have these recent pictures, but look, we're going back to August 2016, and this was a photo I saw in Home Goods, and it recognized it as a dog. Well, there's our other foster dog, and it's going, just like I said, it's doing its best to pick up any images that they think is a dog. Here's one of our trips to Petland. So Google, we know, is most known for search, and it's pretty exciting. The last thing I want to show you, two things. Slideshows. So whether you make an album or you kind of just do it on the fly here, select some photos. Up here in these three dots. Oh, I lied. There we go. I hit the plus sign. Oh, I did lie again. Hold on a second. So maybe you do need albums. If you make an album, so let's go back to this sample and go in these three dots, you can turn them into a slideshow by just clicking those three dots, and it's going to run through the photos that I put into that album. This is perfect for open house, kind of gather all your photos from the year, put them in an album, run it, it'll run on loop. So that's a pretty great feature. I was pretty sure you didn't have to put them in an album to do that, but I'm having troubles at the moment. Other things to notice here, if you just have some random photos you want to upload, you can drag them like from your desktop and drag them on top of photos and they'll go up, or you can click this upload button here. The last thing I want to show you is editing. So here's the sweet picture of my sister holding the new foster pup. If I click this pencil, I get all of these editing options. My favorite is auto. It kind of does its best to enhance the color, change the shadows, etc., to make it look good. But you can also see there's other filters similar to Instagram if you use that you could play around with. And in addition to that, you can play with the light, color, and the pop, whatever that is. I'm not a photo editor person, so and look at all this under color, all this stuff you can do and mess with and have fun with. You can really go to town. This is obviously the crop section where you could crop, rotate, and go crazy. Let's see here. We'll click done. I could just undo all of my edits right here. And then I could also save it as a copy so that I'm not editing over my original image. So you can see the two images there. You can really have a good time with editing. Also, when you click on a photo, besides editing, obviously you can zoom in. But this information, it recognizes me and Joanna. Oh, I was like, why do they see me and Joanna? Look back here. We're on the TV back there. It recognizes the people. I could add a description, and I like this. If for some reason it got the wrong date, you can edit the date just to keep you more organized. Like that one of my niece as a second grader, I could go in and edit that date. I'm not going to, but it's an interesting option. Also from here, I could choose to do all those things we had talked about. And in addition to downloading it if I wanted to use it somewhere else. So those are kind of the quick features of Google Photos. It's very handy. We're going to talk in class more about how to get these out to parents, but a quick summary just so it's noted here in the screencast is you can create albums and send them out, by unit, weekly, monthly, whatever you want. Or we're going to talk about how to use Google Drive. The photos are automatically there. You can just drag them into folders, have a preset structure that you share with parents once, and you're done for the year. So if you didn't make the session and you're listening to this and that interests you, I can explain it to you in person in about 5 minutes. So let's do that. All right. Hope this wasn't too long. Thanks.